Hey guys, happy Monday. It's Joe, and it's time for Pikkit with Joe. It is Monday, May 15th. This year is absolutely flying by, and the NHL playoffs are not disappointing. I tell you, I did not see that upset coming last night as Vegas able to win Game 6. I was really hoping for Game 7 between these two because you guys know it's been money makers for us in that over 1.5 in the first period. We've also been doing great with those goalie props and player props. So I'm disappointed to see us not being able to bet on that series again, but Vegas, congratulations for moving on. Now the Vegas Golden Knights will face whatever team wins tonight between the Seattle Kraken and the Dallas Stars. We've got a really exciting Game 7 on our hands. Just want to say good afternoon and happy Monday to both Matt and Kev. Thank you for joining me here over on YouTube. It's going to be a great Game 7 tonight. Now the Seattle Kraken are coming in as massive underdogs. I'm seeing up to plus 180 on some of the books, minus 190 to minus 200 here for the Dallas Stars. This total sitting nice and solid at 6. And now one trend we've been seeing so nicely cashing is the overs in this series. But you got to wonder how much these goalies are going to come into play tonight. I remember Jake Ottinger in Game 7 versus the Calgary Flames last season. He absolutely stood on his head. He set records out there on the ice. The Dallas Stars ended up losing, but that went to overtime. Calgary had 60-plus shots on Jake Ottinger. It was a 3-2 win for the Calgary Flames in OT. So Jake Ottinger absolutely knows how to bring it in Game 7. Now, Grubauer, same thing. He brought it in Game 7 versus the Colorado Avalanche, so the Kraken were able to win that one. I think it was 34 shots on goal that he sustained, only allowing 1 goal in. So both of these goalies absolutely are going to be standing on their heads tonight. But the thing is, these offenses really have found a way to hit each of them hard. Well, I do expect a really strong performance. I do think we look at this, and this probably is a game that still goes to that over. I think we've got a strong first period and a strong second period. I see defenses and goaltending really locking down in the third. I'd look at the first period and the second period to those overs. But for totals, that's what I'm going to look at. Joe, we should have bet that money line. I know. I wish I had Vegas Golden Knights on the money line last night. Both teams to score hit in that first period as well. Yeah, you knew the game was over. You're right. In that second period, I was sitting with a friend on the deck, and we were both Calgary fans, and all of our friends are really cheering hard for the Oilers. You know, my mom is too right now, or was. So I kind of felt for the Oilers. I felt for them going out on their home ice, but congratulations to Vegas. We saw them. They took the Pacific, and lots of people underestimated them, thinking the Edmonton Oilers were going to get past them easy, which was really confusing for me. Yeah, let's go Kraken. You guys know exactly where I'm at with that. Oilers versus Vegas, nailed that 100%. Yeah, both teams to score in that first period. It definitely was nice, a plus money. So looking at this game here tonight, I do think first period, second period, you look for those overs. Third period, I'm a little cautious. You know, you get those empty netters and things like that. Could this be locked down in the third period, go to OT? It could be. I'm not going to put a bet on overtime tonight, although it probably could happen. Now, we know this is Game 7. We know the series is tied up. Just to recap how these games went, it was an overtime win in Game 1 for the Seattle Kraken, 5-4. Game 2 went to the Dallas Stars, 4-2. Game 3 went to the Seattle Kraken, 7-2. Game 4 went to the Dallas Stars, 6-3. Game 5 went to the Dallas Stars, 5-2. And then Game 6 went to the Seattle Kraken, 6-3. So talking about those overs and that trend, all of these games going over that total 6 tonight. Now looking at the last game and how these two really broke down that game, they really mirrored each other. We saw 46 hits out of both of them. Both of them went 1-3 on that power play, but we did see the Dallas Stars win 52.2% of those faceoffs. That first period was absolutely money, you guys. The Kraken got the win in the first period. It was a 2-1 win going over that total of 2, because we did extend that line to 2 and not lay all that juice. It's interesting, though, the 1.5 tonight is a minus 145. So you're not laying much juice. If you do take it up to 2, you're getting that at right around that minus 105. So there is value on the over 2. That first period, the first period over 1.5 is minus 112. If you take it up to 2, you're getting plus money. I was thinking the Kraken plus the 1.5. That's coming in at minus 145. I want to do that. If you like the Kraken tonight, I think you take a chance on them on the money line. The plus 1.5, I think we have too many opportunities of that empty netter to come if Dallas is up. So I don't like that. Over 2 in the second period is coming in at plus 110. I do like the over 2 in the second period as well. You guys know I don't normally take those second period goals before the game, but looking at this one, I think I could see it play out. I do think both these teams look to hit first in that first period, but if for some reason they come out looking to play defense, as soon as that first goal is scored, it's like a wave will come offensively. So if we go scoreless in the first period, we're definitely going to get over 2 in the second, and right now I'm getting that at plus 110. So I want to grab it now before we see that first period go over, and then we don't get the value on the second period. So I think the Kraken is the way to go. I think they have every possibility of winning, and the value on the Kraken tonight is all there. So the home teams, though, have gone 4-1 in the last 5 meetings. It's going to be a hard one. And yeah, looking at Grubauer in that last game, 7, he had 33 saves and only 1 goal allowed. So he withstood 33 of 34 shots on goal versus the Colorado Avalanche. And then we look at Jake Ottinger versus Calgary last season. It was 64 saves with a 1.81 saved goals against average and a 0.954 save percentage in that game 7 versus the Calgary Stars. Jake Ottinger also so strong off a loss. So it's really hard for me to sit here and say, take the Seattle Kraken. When you look at all of Jake Ottinger's stats off a loss, he's absolutely phenomenal. 21-1-3 this season following a loss. But I tell you, this Seattle Kraken's offense is relentless, and they are firing at him nonstop. Both of these teams were pretty limited in their last game of the shots on goal. We did see 29 shots out of the Seattle Kraken, 23 out of the Dallas Stars. I will quickly look at the goalie props before we finish up here, but I just want to give you those other props I'm liking first. Jordan Eberle has been absolutely phenomenal for the Seattle Kraken. You can get him for over half a point tonight. That's coming in at plus 104. It's like a drum roll. Did you guys hear that? That's my phone. Sorry about that. 2 goals he had in the last game and 1 assist, 3 shots on goal. So Jordan Eberle actually will be a huge factor in tonight's game. Now, Jared McCann also of the Seattle Kraken. You guys know I have been high on him. His points tonight is coming in at minus 111, and that is my lucky number, you guys. Whenever I see those minus 111s, I love to hit them. You can get him tonight over 3 shots on goal as well. So I like that value, but I do think the point at minus 111. He had an assist in the last game. Now, Schwartz coming in here, he had an assist in the last game, so someone to look at. Adam Larson, I really like how he's been playing, but looking at his numbers, it was nothing I could look at him to bet. And then Vince Dunn coming in here. He had an assist in the last game and 3 shots on goal. So someone to put your mind on. Max Domi for the Dallas Stars at plus 102. Now, he's been kind of quiet the last couple games. He had an assist in the last game, was held off on shots on goal completely. I do think Max Domi, we've seen some big games out of him, someone to look at. And Hines here for his shots on goal. It's kind of juicy at minus 140, over 2.5, but I do think Hines comes out for a good night. You could look at his points as well, but you're laying a lot of juice with Hines. So not my favorite player to bet on, but someone to look for having a good night. And Jason Robinson, he had an assist and 2 shots on goal in the last game. I do think Jason Robinson comes out and gets another point on the board. So that's where I'm laying with player props, heavier on the Seattle Kraken's player props, because you guys, that is where I'm putting my bet tonight for the straight up winner. This is going to be absolutely madness, chaos out there on the ice. Looking at the goalie props tonight, We have Philip Grubauer over 26.5 save shots at -116, and Jake Ottinger at 26.5 at -116. Your only worry here is what these defenses were able to do in the last game, locking each other down, limiting those shots on goal. Seattle had 29 shots on goal and Dallas had 23. So I do think both of these goalies will stand on their heads. I do think these shots come raining in a lot more than in the last game. These offenses are going to be firing as much as they can, both looking to get up fast. So I do expect both teams to get into the 30s for their shots on goal. So I do like both of the goalies towards their over on their goalie props. So pick and choose, pick which team you are leaning on and take that goalie over their save shots. Like I said, Jake Ottinger and Grubauer, absolutely phenomenal in Game 7. So I do think the goals are coming, but these goalies, I do think still go over their props. We hit last night so nicely in that one with Aiden Hill for his over save shots. I think Edmonton put 40-something shots on him last night. So it was a crazy game. I think we see both teams playing with that kind of fire and dedication out there. Joe going with all +100 with the Kraken and the Dallas Stars over 6. Yeah, let's go. Let's get this money. Kraken to win the Stanley Cup. There you go, Joe. I wish you all the best with that. I would love to see it, the Kraken and the Florida Panthers in the very end. The Florida Panthers are going to have such a hard one versus the Carolina Hurricanes. We will see how they do out there on the ice in that series coming up. And I do think Vegas and the Kraken would be a phenomenal matchup there. It'd be interesting to see who comes out of that one. Dallas and Vegas, I think Vegas gets a win. The Kraken and Vegas, I'm a little cautioned for if Vegas can beat the Seattle Kraken. This Kraken team, I tell you, they are fast out there on the ice. So it's definitely going to be a good one. Jay, shout out to you too. Thank you for joining us today. So you guys, that is it. Just to recap, give me the Kraken straight up on the money line. You know I can't say no to that plus money, you guys. I love it. Give me the first period over 1.5 at -112. Give me the second period over 2 at +110. Kraken's team total over 2.5. God, if those are hitting, the Kraken is hitting. Over 2.5 is coming in at +104. I do think they have Jake Ottinger's numbers, but I think the offenses really step up. Give me Jordan Eberle over 0.5 point tonight, +104. Jared McCann for a point tonight at -111. Max Domi for a point at +102. And Hines for his shots on goal over 2.5. It's -140. It's juicy though, you guys. Jason Robertson and Vince Dunn and Schwartz also players to look at and hone in on in tonight's action. It's going to be a great game. You guys enjoy every moment of this Game 7. I can hardly wait for it to kick off. I will be watching it on the deck. I'll also be on Sports Grid later, so make sure you join me over there at 7:40 Eastern. I'll be on with the guys. So you guys have a good one. Keep smiling. Let's make some freaking money. Bye now.